Hello there guys, it's me Stranger Hydra 9 and I'm back again for another video. Kind of a vlog I guess. And sorry for not making many videos lately. I've been very busy at work, I'm sure you guys understand. But anyway, I'm off work now, and in this video I'm going to be showing you some of the components that I'm going to be using to build my very own gaming PC. So I bought all of these components individually, and I'm going to be building the PC myself. And to start out, we're going to look at the CPU. So this is the AMD 965 Black Edition Phenom 2 processor. I know that, well, there we are. Okay, so there you can see the box. There's AMD. And on this side, you can actually see the CPU. So this box basically contains the CPU and a stock cooler, even though I'm not going to be using the stock cooler. There's the CPU for you to look at. So basically this video, a couple people have expressed interest in just kind of seeing what my gaming setup's going to be when I'm on the PC. So I thought I would kind of show you some of the major components behind my PC build and why I chose them. So anyway, on the AMD side, you know, a lot of people talk about AMD versus Intel, and I love Intel. Actually, the laptop that I'm recording this video in is running an i5 right now. And they're fantastic processors. However, in my opinion, from the research I've done, AMD gives you a little bit more bang for your buck at the lower end. The processor that I bought, this right here, is clocked at 3.4 gigahertz stock and can be overclocked pretty consistently to 3.8 gigahertz. And it's barely over $100. Okay, let's say you get, for instance, an i5 processor. That's going to set you back probably over $200 at the minimum. Now, this won't give you quite the performance that an i5 has, but, and this is a very important note, for games, if you're using a PC for gaming, it's been consistently shown that the CPU is not the most important component of the PC build, and so it's better to allocate more of your money in the other components that have more of a performance gain. Now, if you're doing something like, which I am doing too, video rendering, an Intel will definitely beat an AMD processor at the same, gigahertz range. However, this is still a pretty damn good processor, and I think it's going to do video rendering very well. So anyway, let's move on to the next component, RAM. This is the G-Skill Sniper 1866 megahertz RAM, and right here on, I'm not sure if you can actually see it, but on this little white sticker, you can actually see the timings, which is 9, 10, 9, 28, running at 1.5 volts. Now, what does this mean? Okay, the timings basically tell not how fast this RAM is working, because that's more like the megahertz rating, which this can go up to 1866 on its stock settings. The timings actually are more like how many clock cycles can it do, like how fast is it in terms of actually, like, similar to a refresh rate. It's a little bit difficult to actually explain. If you want to learn more about it, look up timings online. Now, I'm going to tell you this right now, this is not the tightest timings. So that basically means that the performance at this timings is not as good as it would be if the numbers are lower. However, this is at 1866 megahertz, where a lot of RAM is running at lower megahertz. So you have to take both of those factors into consideration before you can make a final evaluation. Another big reason why I bought this is because G-Skill is pretty respected in the RAM community in terms of PC building. This is a low profile RAM, where it's not like huge profile, so your compatibility is very good. And another, and probably the most important reason why I chose this particular RAM, is because I checked my motherboard compatibility guide. Now, that's a very important thing to do, because when you're building your own PC, what's the worst thing is to buy all these components and then figure out they're not compatible. So by checking, your motherboard compatibility guide, you can rest assured that this RAM is going to work natively in your PC. So that's why I got this RAM. I think it's going to be pretty darn good. This is 2 sticks, 4 gigabytes each stick, so I'm going to be running 8 gigabytes RAM in my particular PC. Next up, we have the cooler. This, like I said, the CPU comes with a stock cooler, but I'm not going to be using that. I'm actually going to be using this, which is the Cooler Master Hyper 212 Plus. Excuse me. This one is phenomenally better than the stock cooler. Just by reading some reviews online and doing my research, which is, I think, probably one of the most important things when building your own PC. And it's kind of fun just doing research. But this one of the most important features it has is, if you can see on the back of the box there, it actually has basically copper pipes that are touching the CPU. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to put a thermal paste, which I've gotten an aftermarket thermal paste as well, Arctic Cooling's MX4. And so you're going to put that on top of the CPU, and then these pipes are going to rest. These copper pipes right here are going to rest directly on top of the CPU. And what this does is, if you can see the front of the box, the copper pipes are at the bottom here, okay? And basically this allows the CPU to be cooled way more efficiently than stock cooling. And what that means is you're going to be able to overclock more, and your system is going to have more longevity. So that's what I'm doing in terms of CPU cooling. Just talking on Cooler Master right now, I also have a Cooler Master Haft 912 computer case. If you guys want to look that case up online, you can easily see pictures of it. I also got some LED fans, like a 200 millimeter for the top, and an additional 120 millimeter blue LED. Both of them are blue LEDs to install into the case, again for better cooling. Cooling is one of the most important factors you're talking about when you're talking about, building your own PC, and if you want to try to push the performance, overclock, and things like that. So yeah, definitely, I would show you the case. It's just simply the fact that I can't just pull up the case. But again, it's the Cooler Master Haft 912. So just look that up online if you want to see what the case looks like. And hopefully after the PC's done, hopefully I can give you a screenshot of it or something of that nature. So let's move on to one of the biggest things, the most important things in a new PC, and that is the motherboard. Just trying to get you guys to be able to see this. This is the Asus M5A99X Evo. This has got just a huge amount of features for its price point. It can actually automatically overclock your CPU and memory. It can actually, its BIOS is a new form of a BIOS where instead of, the old type of BIOS where you're scrolling, with your keyboard trying to set your PC up, it's a visual interface BIOS. It's just amazing. I really researched my motherboard a lot. Pretty much when you're building your PC, you have to choose, okay, am I doing Intel or am I doing AMD, because the motherboards are not compatible. You can't take an AMD motherboard and put an Intel in it. However, this has support for the newest AMD processors, like the Bulldozer line, and more than likely the upcoming Power Driver line, which I'm thinking about getting a Power Driver CPU in the future, hopefully. But I'm just really happy with the motherboard. It's got high quality Japanese capacitors, which is a big thing. It's little details like that in the computer that really make a big difference. And I think a lot of people overlook small things like that. And if you actually want to look at reviews of the motherboard, like I did, you're going to see it's pretty good and it's pretty respected. And Asus makes super, super high quality motherboards. So now we're going to for gaming. Now, I'm going to preface this very clearly at the beginning. For gaming to be probably the single most important thing you can buy for your PC. That is, that I probably spent more on this component than I did on any other component, even though I try to make every component a quality product. And that is the video card or the GPU, depending on what you want to call it. And this is my GPU right here. This is the MSI 7850 Twin Frozr model. It's got 2 gigabytes of video RAM. This is especially helpful since you're going AMD ATI, like I am on that build. One of the main attractions is Infinity. You can run 3 to 4 monitors, and to run all these monitors, you're going to need a lot of RAM for the video card to basically cache that video in. And so MSI is a very high quality brand. The Twin Frozr line, basically what it is it's a 2 GPU cooler fan setup. Unlike the kind of stock configuration of the 7850, it basically has 2 fans on it, and that amazingly cools this GPU compared to 1 fan. And the PCB is kind of a little bit more limited than the stock configuration. It's just overall a very high quality product. The 7850 has been shown in numerous reviews to easily overclock to the 7870 reference specs. And more so than that, with some GPU tweaks, and if you look on the forums, there are people that have actually overclocked this GPU over 50% above its clock speed. Now that's absolutely insane. In terms of value, the GPU I bought here, the MSI Twin Frozr, is around $250. But it's just one of those things that it is absolutely a tremendous value for your price, just simply because of its amazing overclocking potential. And that's pretty much why I bought that product, is because even at stock it can run Battlefield 3 on high to ultra, but when you overclock it, it can really run even the best games at very good resolutions like 1920 by 1080. That's full 1080p. Pretty much can play any game at that resolution over 30 frames per second on ultra. And when it's overclocked, you're probably talking 45 to 50 frames a second on the highest settings. It's very, very good. It can basically, playable any game, and most games are going to run on high or ultra at playable frames per second. So that pretty much wraps up the kind of initial CPU, showing you the components. I do have some other components, like I have an Asus DVD drive OEM, and a couple things like that, and I have my thermal paste and a couple things, but pretty much that's the main components of my PC, other than the case, which, like I said, is the Cooler Master Half 912. So if you want to check that out. So I hope that you guys are kind of excited about me building my PC like I'm excited, because it's going to be fantastic. I'm going to be able to play a lot of games that I can't play now, like maybe Counter-Strike. I just got a bunch of testing games that I'm going to get. Like I'm planning to get Mass Effect free, tested out on my new system. Saints Row free, Battlefield free. I don't know why all these games have fleas in front of them, but who knows. You got Skyrim I'm going to put on there probably and test that out. Just going to have a lot of fun with it, basically. One of the biggest games that's coming up that I'm excited about actually playing on the new PC is definitely got to be Dishonored, and also Hawken coming up. If you guys have not checked this out, check out Hawken and Dishonored. These 2 games. Hawken is free to play. Free to play. There's really nothing like this on consoles. It's basically a mech shooter. Hawken is. and it's free to play. You know, but it looks fantastic. It looks ridiculously good. And Dishonored also looks fantastic. And either if you get the Xbox 360, PS3, or PC version in terms of Dishonored, it looks like it's coming out from probably in, I believe, October. And I'm really excited about this game. And really, before Halo 4, it's one of the only games that I'm really excited with, along with like Guild Wars 2 maybe. And maybe Counter-Strike Global Offensive. So, I guess I'm excited about a few games. But it's been a slow summer in terms of games, but I think things are ramping up a little bit now. So I'm glad to kind of show this video just to kind of, show my PC components and to show you guys that, even though I was kind of busy for a week or two, still making the videos. And I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. So yeah, please leave comments and or likes. I appreciate everything, and I will see you guys next time. Hydra out.